Hey everybody, welcome. Good sign for Zendikar Rising as a draft format that it continues to win polls on what people want to see me play deep into the format, into the real doldrums of the format as we're like waiting for the next format to, the next set to launch. Zendikar Rising is beating out the alternatives that Wizards is presenting for us to do around here, like Cube and most recently Guilds of Ravnica. If you are watching this on YouTube and it's fairly current, you know, you're here in early January 2021 with us. The options, you have this Guilds of Ravnica option right now, and regardless of what you think of the format Guilds of Ravnica, understand that if you generally care about collection building, but you don't care about historic, just remember that drafting Guilds of Ravnica doesn't build a collection for you in a meaningful way if you are a standard player. So this is one of the reasons I suggest making side accounts. If you're budget conscious, you have a little extra time and you can manage a couple of accounts on Arena. One of the things you can do is after you're done playing, if you've won 4 times on your main account and you have that empty quest slot, you switch over to a side account, grind. If you have the resources, you can draft. If you don't, you can grind some standard there and earn some resources. But you can always spend time on a side account grinding up some resources so that when a play opportunity comes along, like Guilds that maybe doesn't have what you want card-wise, but you want the experience, that's where I go and use a side account for that. But also, I'm here on my side account now, and I'm talking side accounts because of this. Normally, I advocate work in your main account first. Get your daily gold from your main account first. I will do that off air later, but I also want to model what I talked about yesterday on air, which is not spending any of my resources on my main account to draft a set I already have 4x of. Because if I draft on my main account, I'm going to win prize boosters, and those prize boosters of Zendikar Rising are going to contain 20 gems. And rather than spend my current resources up here to generate prize support that produces a really nominal amount of gems in return, I would rather save those resources and put them into a draft of the upcoming draft format and instead get prize packs in the new set. And then those, instead of getting 20 gems out of the rare slot, I get collection building that I want to do. And when I explained this yesterday, I think Rob was asking about this, and Rob was saying, but those 20 gems can be used to draft in the next set. Well, yeah, Rob, but it's just all net, right? Yes, you're winning 20 gems in a booster pack that could be used for the next set, but you're still a net loss. So like if I'm spending 1,500 gems to, on average, win back 800 plus 20 per prize booster. All right, that's still net negative on gems. So I'm saying, why go net negative on gems at all on your main account when you are 4x'd of that set? Instead, just have fun with Constructed on that main account, build up gold every day, build up that gold store, and then when the new set launches, you have plenty of resources for the new set, and you're starting to get rare slot cards that matter to you instead of a rare slot 20 gems that you would rather have just be cards from the new set. So I strongly advocate two accounts. And I advocate switching to your second account when you have done your daily gold grinding on your main account. And I advocate bailing on drafting in formats on your main account once you have 4x'd the rares, because the returns on that investment are so diminished if you care about collection building. Of course, if you don't care about collection building, throw all that out. If you truly only ever play limited, you can basically do whatever, and that's fine. But if you care about limited and constructed, that is what I advocate. And if you care about constructed on your tabletop, you know what I advocate. CardKingdom.com, they're my sponsor. They are incredible providers of everything you need for your tabletop Magic experience, whether it's singles, supplies, sealed product. It's all there. And if you get there via my affiliate link, they know you got there from here. That makes them happy with me. It associates your upcoming business with my stream. And then they pat me on the head and say, good job, Ryan. We are happy with your promotion of our business and or services. So that's how it works. And just want you to remember that if you're looking for stuff for your physical game, just keep that in mind. You can always hop back to my stream and click the panel down below, and that'll launch you to Card Kingdom. You can do what I do, create a Card Kingdom bookmark that is using my affiliate link, and then every time you use that bookmark, you know you're just going there via my affiliate link. That would warm my heart, anybody who does that. I know Mama does that. So yeah, if you do that, that's the maximum paragon to help out my channel. And I want you to remember, keep my sponsor Card Kingdom in mind. Also, Oni Spumoni of Spumoni Works is my site designer and friend and supporter of Going Optimal. If you use the Go Shopping discount code over at Spumoni Works, Oni is going to give you 15% off your purchase and is going to give me some design time for the Going Optimal channel. So keep that in mind too if you want some sweet pin merch, not just magic stuff over there, also a lot of other cool items to check out, a lot of pop culture. And so if you dig that kind of stuff, be sure to browse what Oni's got going on over there. It's not just magic, and it would help my site a lot if you wanted to ship him some business via that Go Shopping discount code. Alrighty? Thanks, everybody. Let's jump in here. We are in best of 3. I did ask chat what they wanted to draft today, but I didn't ask what format. I chose best of 3. I feel like I lean best of 3 when given the opportunity around here, simply because I lean best of 1 when I'm off air, because often I only have time to set aside 15-ish minutes, and I'm like, okay, I can get a game in 15 minutes, so I'll have some best of 1s going off air. So I like to do the best of 3 with you all as a default, so that I have the fun of the pure draft experience. Just good timing, Oni, just good timing. Filling up decently fast here. Sometimes, again, late in a format, best of 3 can really be dried up. That especially happened like with the last core set, right? I remember M21 was just slow as heck if you wanted a best of 3 it by the end. Thank you, CT. Appreciate that. And you got it, SF Wash. Robert still dislikes the prize structure. I get it. I have a long view. It's all, you know, it's all pretty free if you take the right approach, right? So it's like, yeah, it's steep, but I'm still playing for free. I just wonder if it's best for Magic. Grakmaw, probably worth a start. It's gold, but powerful enough to start here. I mean, heck, if we're not taking this, I'm kind of taking a green or a black card anyway. I mean, the best cards in here are green and black with Florahedron, Rabid Bite, Blood Beckoning, not necessarily in that order. I guess if I had to order this, I would go Rabid Bite, Florahedron, which I seem to like more than others. I don't know. I love that when you have this in your opener, you get to ramp, and if it has to be a land, it can be. And then Blood Beckoning, just great card advantage. But yeah, let's just take the rare, maybe see where it goes. Well, I get another chance at a Florahedron. And there's also an Arbor Mage, which we could take over it. Visionary, also strong. These 2 green wizards, both green wizards I like a lot. Florahedron, though, again, I don't know, maybe I overvalue this, but I still like the ramp spland. You're on Bugcatcher. Yeah, Bugcatcher I should have called out. Like, if we didn't have this, if this was where we're at, would we take one of the green cards? Maybe not. Maybe Bugcatcher would be our pick at that point. It's unlikely that we play Bugcatcher and Grakmaw in the same deck, so this is certainly a hard way draft pick. I just think that you don't. While this would be my pick if I don't have this rare, I do have this rare, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that. I'm going to take Arbor Mage because it ends games. Land Rogue is fine here. This is just not as replaceable. I really like the draw card. Wizard is great, and so is I really like, as I said, I like the Florahedron quite a bit, but this is a less replaceable effect, so I like that. Yeah, interesting cleric pick here with the Ascetic, and then also just a ton of classic clerics here. I think this is what you're talking about. This trio here. Are we drafting the hard way into this? I don't think so. I think this is all good enough that we just take the rogue and observe that we're passing this, though. I just think this is good enough. I don't want to but yeah, I mean, the cleric is here. Like, we could grab the Blight Priest, and if we wheel a Relic Vial, it's kind of a sign. But only cleric decks want this, so I kind of feel like that's true. Gloom is fine in black-green counters, though, right? Vial is more powerful, yes. I think the grown-up pick is Gloom Hunter, matching what we're doing here and just kind of going ahead and busting the ring out, getting on one knee, and asking if Grakmaw will be with us forever. So I'll do that. Grakmaw, will you be mine? Grakmaw, we've known each other for 7 minutes now, and I really feel like it's time we made a true commitment. Fenrir, you want to switch now? Yeah, maybe this is one of my failings as a drafter. Maybe I don't draft the hard way enough. Maybe I'm supposed to take Shepherd here and but I'm gonna follow through. Like, it's not gonna be that. We may pass just this amazing clerics deck, but we're also gonna probably have a fine deck with what we're doing. Oh, we're already seeing a baller cleric deck. I just don't think it's necessarily correct to pivot to it here. I don't know. Again, maybe this is a failing of mine. I would like, maybe Ben S is taking Shepherd there. Expert seems fine though. Yeah, I don't think I don't know if I'm overvaluing Grakmaw. I'm making a joke about marrying Grakmaw, but really what I'm saying is I'm marrying green-black because of the overall density of what we have going here. You don't understand the logic of not taking Shepherd. Interesting. I mean, because we have a lot of green-black cards. And I'm saying let's be greenback. Now look at this Bugcatcher. If we're talking about hardway drafting, I should take the Bugcatcher here over Mind Drain. So this says, yeah, maybe if we're gonna pivot here, maybe this is the pivot. Yeah, Vastwood Fortification is justifiable too, but we could, and Mace is like whatever. These are both whatever towards the green-black, whatever towards the black-red. They're both a little bit better than whatever. C pluses towards the. I think we'll take the Mace. No, not yet. But I got on one knee and Grak hasn't responded yet. Well, here you go. So here's people saying, "Oh, the cleric deck not even necessarily there." I think the cleric deck kind of was there between multiple blight priests, the vial, and the 1/4. All the parts were definitely there. I haven't played green black in a long time. Maybe that was part of my leaning here too. Is just I feel like I've been a boring black red blue green, situation, but I really don't like that spland. I've come closer to where Jinx is at on that land, and I don't care about it much since we already have the one. Well, Journey is interesting, but we just take the Alliance here. It's going to work in. We're definitely black, so let's take the Alliance and then see. And on that front, I think I like the feed here. Although there's an inscription. I guess we take inscription over feed. And inscription is somewhat doing the counter thing. Let's do that. I do want to lean green-black for stream interest. Like, when is the last time we drafted it around here? Let's see, So I think I am going to... I mean, I suppose red could rear its head here and just force me to reconsider, but this is what I want to do. Cleric deck. Shut up. Shut up, Fenor. You're not the boss of me. Bite over Swarm. You just argue for another Swarm. They're both... If Bite was an instant, I think I would be on Bite, but I think I just want another feed, right? Or a feed. I thought I said another, but we don't even have the first. Another Arbor Mage. Survivor does the counter thing, but we can try and wheel that. I think we just take the next Arbor Mage. 2 Arbor Mages is a real game plan. One thing to do, if this is our game plan, so let's start thinking about jobs. If our game plan is like taunting for wins, we need to be a little more controlling. We need to solve the air. I've said this before, but if you're, especially in a green-black deck, if your only answer to flying in your green-black deck is removal, then you're put in a position where you have to save your hard removal for flyers. Now we have a Gloom Hunter, so that represents one thing in the air. But basically, reach and flying in green-black is pretty important to me because it allows you to use your removal on things other than your opponent's flyers. As soon as you can actually manage your opponent's flyers with creatures of your own, then it frees you to be more flexible with your removal. So we have another mace that could tempt you into the red-black plan. We don't have that many green cards, but I still think we should just take Visionary. Blood Beckoning is interesting, but we already have one. I would play... There comes a time where you have too many Blood Beckonings, but in a deck with only one other 4-drop, I think I would take many of these before I would stop playing them. So I'm going to take another Visionary. Pickaxe, not really what we want. Not really what a controlling green-black build is trying to do. Jund out, but how so, right? I mean, we take Oblivion's Hunger actually does some work in this deck, but I think we take the Blight Blade. It's fine. It's controlling. Well, I don't. This is a fight. This isn't a punch. If it I like Death Touch with punching is great, which is to say it does damage without taking any back. Another feed. Take that over a Scion. Gives us more early game. Interesting pick. At least looking like we're in a decent lane here with the black. We can take a... This is a Spland I can get behind. We can take a Skulker to have a 2-drop. Vanquish is medium removal, but it is removal. How are we doing? Things we have Alliance and 2 feeds, like, well, there you go. Ran out of time. I don't know. Vanquish was on the edge for me there. If we didn't have any removal, I would be all over the Vanquish. But we actually have the removal job covered pretty decently. And this represents at least some flying defense, so we'll take it. Yeah, we're not intending to play these right now. If that helps, I can move them out. And, you know, Snarecaster, we're best of 3. Maybe the Snarecaster doesn't start in the main, but this is exactly the kind of card I want in the board of a green-black deck to give yourself some play against flyers that are not removal. Are we ever caring about Skitter Sneak? We might actually want spare supplies in this deck before we want Skitter Sneak. Maybe it is okay, Jinx. I just feel like I'd rather fill up on Visionaries or whatever. I just really hope I'm not playing any sneaks. Yeah, let's put this hopefully in the board. Mind Drain, you can play main for sure. I'll leave it there for now. There's a sneak. Now I'm gonna put it in the board and hope we don't have to run it. Pathway is not a land for us. We do have a Thwart. It's pretty good in anything. There is a Sproutling, though, that also represents 2 for 1-age. Sproutling would get back Taunting Arbor Mage, but hopefully you cast Taunting Arbor Mage and it's over. It gets back Inscription. Not much else, though. So, I mean, this is mainly a blue-green type card. Colony has been called as well, and I think that's really what it comes down to here is Colony versus Thwart. Thwart is not at its best in our deck, but I think it's still just a powerful enough effect that we take it. Yeah, we do want counter payoffs for sure. Like, you know, Dauntless. I hope I keep thinking we'll wheel Dauntlesses that don't come back around. I've not really seen Thwart wheel. I mean, it's sure, like, especially because I think that Cleric deck we're passing really wants the Thwart. Should we just take Adventurer? Pack Beast. Yeah, we're kind of missing a top end. I think Adventurer slots in at 4 nicely here if we get a couple of creatures out to support. Pack Beast is just so darn playable, though. Like, it may not be what we, quote, want, but, like, I would take it here over the Subtle Strike, I think. Again, like, we have 2 feeds. We have Alliance. I don't think removal, we have Inscription. I don't know if removal is what we're concerned about, whereas getting on board on 2 seems more important to me. That's true. It is a counters. You know, we are like, what makes us a counters deck though? Just Grakmaw? I mean, we're green black, but what really makes us a counters deck? I'm gonna take this Pack Beast. I know that Subtle Strike is a quote counter card, but I think we needed that Pack Beast more. Here's a Subtle Strike I'll take. You want Stomper? I'm gonna take Subtle Strike here. I can live, give or take a Stomper. Skulker here is fine though. Another Pack Beast could take a Reclaim, but I think we just want another Pack Beast, and then actually, you know, we just a little thin at the top end. Really, is what we want, is to pick up some beef. Or Scion can be a beating, but it's a little too narrow for me to want to prioritize Scions. I do think at the end of the day, man, maybe I need to work on pivoting. I don't want to get caught in hindsight too. And I also did make my declaration known that, like, part of the reason I stuck with the green black is that it's something new and something a little different from what we've been doing. So on that axis, I think where we ended up is fine. But I do think the seat was in the end better with clerics. So what do I need to do to? Oh my goodness! How is this here? Hello, I saw Alliance and was like, cool, and then like, what? So yes, there's nothing wrong with our deck, but as a nuts and bolts spike drafter, I got to assess my Pack 1 pivot and how to handle that Pack 1 pivot better. Okay, tough pick here. Like, boy, lots of choices for us. Vanquish for some more removal, Survivor for another 2-drop and some counter, Acquisitions Expert for some mess with you. Gonna do Expert. All right. I was on Expert, but thought I'd check with chat. Survivor does do our thing. That's why I wanted to see where chat was thinking. I don't think we're going to be partying enough for these random Blight Priests. We just want another Skulker here. We could take a Colossus. We are talking about how our top end is kind of what's missing. And we do have, with the Experts, we have some 2-drop. We have some 2-drop rogues already. Yeah, I think Colossus makes sense with the double Pack Beast and good 2-drops that we did pick up. We'll see, Jinx. We'll see. Maybe, yeah, if it goes great, it won't make the cut. Wow, this is good. I mean, what do you... Help me, chat. Look at this. Everything but the axe is playable here. Second Beckoning, Shadow Cat, but again, like, why are we taking the cat? Because it matches, because it puts counters? I just don't think so. I think we take Blood Priest. And look, that Subtle Strike I passed on comes back anyway. How about that? That's true. Another reason not to take Beckoning is that we have ourselves a Thwart. So 1 Thwart, 1 Beckon is a nice combo. We're light on Clerics and Warriors, though. It's more like a rogue. 6 rogues, 4 wizards, but there's only 1 warrior. So we really need we're really leaning on Pack Beast in terms of any way, and this is a true party deck. Well, there's a warrior. Might find a way to include that just on its warrior status. We could cut the Sky Dancer until we see that we actually need the air defense. Let's see what we got here. Spland wise, we got the Rebirth, the Mauling, and the Rogue. Of course, this is a case where I'm going to call the Mauling a 4-drop. I mean, this is a spell I want to cast. And I'm not even going to count it among the splans. If we happen to get mana screwed and are desperate to play Mauling as land, fine. But this is really a spell. And then, for these, I like the 18 count over here. Even do, yeah, I guess we do have a 1-drop in green. Yeah, I'll get out of your way. Sorry. There you go. 15, 16, 17. I think 7, 9, 8 plus the mauling is fine. Yeah, I don't know if I want to cut. Brute is probably a cut. I don't mind the extra. Yeah, I'm going to leave the Brute. I think we can get rid of Colossus. Yeah, I think the Adventurer is our top-end beef, although having 2 pieces of beef isn't the worst. And yeah, we could even get rid of... that's true. This can be beefy, but... Here, let's do it this way. You even cut a Blight Blade on the idea that it's not that great until you know you're blocking on the ground. I don't want to cut a Skulker. I think we just want these 2s. I think cutting a Subtle Strike or a Feed is reasonable. And I don't want. I know we don't have life gain, but I think this is still. I think you still play 2 of these, or this is life gain, right? You get some life gain. And life gain, yeah. Gloomhunter is life gain. We're not running the priest though. Oh yeah, this is this priest. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the 3-drop priest. Yeah, we have some life gain here. So then, what is the final cut? I think the point of toughness is really more important than the cleric type and the life interaction. Cut an Arbor Mage. Yeah, I want to draw 1 though. I grant you that drawing 2 is not the best, but increasing your chance of drawing the 1 is nice. Yeah, it's also a wizard. I'm gonna run both. So what are you gonna cut then, Ryan? Maybe it does come down to beef, and I accept Adventure Grakmaw, and Thwart is kind of how we're getting there in the end. Make something big with Inscription. You want to cut a rogue? Yeah, all right. Maybe I'll cut the... I guess with 2 experts, let's cut the Skulker. This is always on Death Touch, and the other one is partly on Death Touch. Yeah, we don't have anything that... I guess we could even start... We could maybe do it this way. If we did it... At least this one attacks for 2, right? Like, this is a generically decent attacker blocker. And then if we know we want to do a lot of, like, whoa, the job we need is Death Touch blocking on the ground, that's when we add in Blight Blade. Yeah, it does help the curve out party start. That's true. But what are we doing with that? Like, we're getting Adventure and Colossus online faster. All right, maybe that's enough. It's narrow, but that's fine. Let's do it this way. 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Well, I don't love 8 sources of green with a green 1-drop. I tend to like 9 if I've got a 1-drop, but we're gonna have to accept it. Yeah, it's kind of a funky one. Funky. What is this? Funky Maw. Funky Mom. Because it's our maw. I don't know if any bling has been redeemed, but I'm going to go decide on some. I do Motor City Mama if you could come up with a pun on the motor part. It's got to be something other than Motor City. It's got to be like Mauling City or something like that. You know, Malakir City. But let's just go with this. Let's get some lands in and play some Magic. Something full art. I'm in. Well, we're playing Zendikar. Let's use Zendikar full art. Yeah, Arbor City is good. I think 10. Well, again, I'm not really thinking of the mauling as a land, and I like 9/8 black. But you could make a case for 9/9 black with the mauling as a begrudging. Yeah, we could do this if we want. This is what I was saying. I don't love a Blight Blade on 8 forests, especially if its point is to help us curve out on party stuff. But I'm torn there. Yeah, let's play Magic, and we'll keep that in mind. Well, I'm not literally treating it like a land media. I mean, but like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you really ideally use that to kill your opponent's best creature and not as a land. But for deck building, I wanted to have a mana base that acted as though that were a spell. I don't know what you. I don't know. Like. All right. I'm gonna let it go. I don't know how it changes deck building though. That's the thing. Is your deck looking different than mine? Oh, sorry, this is easy keep. I was just on the discussion. Yeah, this is a no-brainer keep. I was just on the chat discussion. But we're going to play... if we had drawn a land here, you could make an argument for not playing this as land. But with having not drawn a land, we're going to play this as land. I'd say my point is that with a land draw, you could at least make an argument. You could make the argument. Let me get down here too. Let's get Ooh, and all my stuff is wrong. And this is why there's an argument for it. Now we're flooding a little bit, right? If I could turn this back into a Malakir Rebirth in my hand right now, I absolutely would. Not that we made a mistake to make the choices we did, but this is the reason why you would at least consider the other side of things. We're going to go Blood Priest for less value. You know, I'm not going to get greedy here, because if we go Blood Priest, we can play Adventurer next turn. Thank you for the CBL reminder. I'll get that going here. I did restart last night. All right, Cardboard Live is open. You let me know if it's not functioning for any reason. Bottom is solid to see. They didn't like anything they saw on top of their library, at least. I mean, it means their scry was particularly valuable, but you still want to see bottom when you watch your opponent's scry. Arbor Mage should come in handy eventually. But we're just going to go Adventurer now. Yeah, this is quite the matchup. The old white, blue, green, black matchup in Zendikar Rising, just like we are so tired of, right? This is going to be sweet. We get to Visionary next turn. We get to Arbor Mage the turn after, cause some death and havoc, and then bring it all back with Thwart. Just going to offer the Adventurer. Well, let's see. If we send in the Adventurer, it's a 1-for-1 for Seer or Adept, and that's not really worth it. So I was thinking we want to trade off because of Thwart, but you shouldn't get crazy with that. There's no reason to offer this 1-for-1 for those. Let's see. We should consider our ones, though. We do have the 1-drop green creature, right? So let's leave green open. Adept is super interesting filler. It's not a great card, but it's not a bad card either. I've actually talked a lot about this card from a game design standpoint, and I think it does great work from a game design standpoint, but no, it's not a high pick. But that's its job. Its job is to be a medium-low pick for very specific decks, and that's why I love it as a game design talk. Grasp is interesting. Yeah, with the abundance, let's see. We can kick, but we don't get the Adventurer in. Maybe we do it anyway, because then we untap, and then we would have kicked Inscription afterwards. Well, if they have Tactics up, Taunt forces them to use Tactics on whatever we put the Arbor Mage on. Oh yeah, that's true. Look, Colossus down there is pretty cool. And we can do it. We got full party. Yeah, we want the priest dead. We want... There's a lot of stuff we want. How about... I'm going to play a forest... Yeah, let's attack with Visionary alone right now, and then assess post-combat. Might end up thwarting here. I know we technically want Priest dead. I don't think we need to do it that way, though, Jinx. I'm going to put a Pack Beast out. And I guess we just pass. We have this at instant if needed. Yeah, I could have thwarted Colossus and done the inscription. So maybe I was supposed to inscription to thwart to get. Although I'm being greedy, like I want to get 2 creatures with my thwart somehow, or I want to do it after Arbor Mage. There's a lot of ways to go, but possibly I've been too greedy here. And if I just went all in on 2 mana 7/5 plus inscription, we would just have the win next turn. Jinx says no way we do that alone, but Jinx, if it won the game, it would be correct, right? I mean, if it just straight won the game. But we can also play around that possible trick and be super, super careful. Right. It would be lethal unless they have... I mean... Our opponent has cards and mana, so let's not be too presumptuous of exactly how it's all gonna, our certainty of how it's gonna play out. But we still go for inscription here, right? Or do you want to wait now? Arbor Mage, we have kicked Arbor Mage next turn. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we just put counters on and go for the win, I think. And where do we want it? I'll just do it here. I gotta make some calls here. But Visionary, if it died, would be okay. That's true. Into the Royal on Visionary would make that better. That's a reason to do it that way. I'm just kind of flailing a bit here, sorry. But let's try it. I'm going to go for it. And, yeah, I'm not assuming Arbor Mage will work. Let's do Blood Priest, and then if this doesn't work, at least it's because Blood Priest is dead, and we're still attacking with big stuff. Yeah, you could do Veteran and just try to make the Veteran... it's not lethal, but it's close enough for our work. It can't attack, so then it doesn't do anything. I mean, you can do it. It just doesn't... If without haste, it doesn't do anything. All right, I'm going for it. This could be... We'll see what Oppo has, but kind of committed to this line. I don't know. I don't know if Ben S is where I'm at right now, but this is our line. I mean, they're at a virtual 1 now with Thwart. Well, okay, they're at a virtual 4 now. And that's still lethal. They have 3 blocks. We have 5 2+ power attacks and a Blood Priest, so they're dead. Not the cleanest win ever. I'm not happy. Mostly I'm not happy because I don't know what the right line was. I took a line that got a win, but I'm not happy with how I puzzled through that game. So got the win, but not loving how I played that, honestly. But maybe it's just because there were so many paths to victory that I didn't take the best one or something. What are we up against? Blue, white, party. Jinx liked my line. That makes me nervous. Just kidding, Jinx. Sometimes I agree with Jinx. What are we doing here? Well, Cliff Clavin maybe says the other subtle strike is worthwhile. I mean, what are you going to do? Leave me, Jinx? Come on. And then we were talking about Skulker over Blightblade. Then that makes the green count a little more acceptable. Yeah, 1-4 reach, you think? I guess they showed some... They didn't show much flying, right? They're in flying colors, but we didn't see it much? I don't know. I want to decide whether or not we keep the subtle strike number 2, or maybe I cut a feed and keep the subtle strikes, or maybe we do cut an Arbor Mage here. I'm going to cut an Arbor Mage and keep in the extra removal. Had to cut something. We were talking about maybe only running one Arbor Mage before, so it seemed like a place we could cut one and not really mess up our deck's plan too much. Although somebody did observe that, you know, it's also a really good card against what we're up against. Well, we got a Hogger Mauling that I'd be happily using as a land if we had other land to support it, but in this case, mauling as land doesn't even make this a keep, so we're going to mulligan. Here we go. This is a nice keep, though. And really, with double Stonework Pack Beast, Brute, and Alliance, we're going to be greedy and ditch a Forest, because this deck could actually end up managing on 3 mana, so we just need one more and we're okay. And I'm not going to be greedy here, though. We'll take the Mire. And yeah, again, I had to cut something. Maybe Arbor Mage was not correct, given that against a party deck, you like being able to force them to block and knocking apart their party. Here's where I really want to use this as spell, not land, if I can help it. We're going to drop Pack Beast now, anyway. You could make an argument for even blocking the Sellsword. But let's see what we draw off this Adept. More land, good. That means we get to use this as spell for sure. Yeah, I would block here. We have a backup Pack Beast, a Brute blocks and trades with the Adept, and full party isn't that important. Interesting. They didn't even want to offer. Well, that's because we have to remember that they are a party deck and really don't want to trade off party members, right? So that's what's going on there, I think. But we're just going to drop a land and a Brute. Next turn we can Pack Beast and Alliance. This is okay, double Wizard. You know, really you just don't want to see the, you know, the Tron of party having three unique party types by 3 creatures. We're flooding a bit here, but we have some tools to manage that. Hogger Mauling is an instant, but we play Pack Beast and we get Alliance as an instant at 2 mana too. I don't love our spot though. Blue-white in a stall is going to do better than us in a stall because they're going to find better card draw than we have. Hopefully they go for some sweet, sweet creature with no ETB effects, but it's just huge and not hexproof. Let's see. If we pack beast, we lose this. So we got to alliance now if we're going to alliance. And I think we should. We're going to get attacked for 9 total. Let's kill the... Yeah, well, I want to be on D, though. I wanted to... Because here, my concern was this. We swing with the troll. They take it. And then what do we... Then we're looking at a big crackback. I wanted to be able to block. You wouldn't? No, I'm gonna interact here. We have mauling behind. We might be beat down theoretically in the matchup, but we're not beat down on this board. So why would I be beat down on this board? Because I want to be beat down in the matchup. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like I'm not beat down right here. I'm gonna take this trade. I'm a huge fan of the Adept's design. Let's be clear about that. I think it's a very average card in terms of its pick order, but that's part of why I love its design. But if they're not willing to attack with their pieces, then that's good as well. That was my thinking. Oh yeah, sorry, I was working on updating my overlay and then only got part way through. Thanks. We are on ZNR traditional. But I am gonna block. My blocking here, yeah. We've got forts. I'm just, and they're playing party, so I'm just going to block. It seemed pretty tricksy, but I took on the plan of blocker, so... Gonna just play a rogue here over leaving up mauling. Still taking 6 basically, but we can I like getting a creature out over just picking off a creature of theirs. Don't know if we have any I don't think we have artifact destruction in green, but we can look.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Maul of the Skyclaves is intimidating, but we are not dead yet. If we were to Blood Beckon kicked, we can get Gloomhunter back to get up in the air, but that's going to be after we... the trouble is the Skyclaves is just going to re-equip. Oops. Yeah, but there could be artifact destruction that has... I mean, if it's like a flyer, if it... Because isn't this, like, destroy... Naturalize or flyer? Like, I'd play Naturalize or flyer if we had that, for example. Well, we have to maul this turn, so let's hold. Yes, but feed gets enchantments and creatures. It doesn't get artifacts. I don't know if that's what you mean by that. That's ugly. Well, what do they get for this? Into the Royal, Chilling Trap. Well, they should have gotten Chilling Trap, and then they could have use it this turn. I guess it doesn't matter, though. They're fine. Well, Subtle Strike is probably going to be good for us here because it's very unlikely that our opponent is going to attempt to re-equip to the already flyer, and the Subtle Strike is going to kill both of the other ones. Trouble is, if we Blood Beckoning for cards that we can cast, we somewhat telegraph the strike. That being said, I think we have to. Because I can't see waiting on this. And then Gloomhunter and Brute on the pullback, and then this is where we telegraph by not, it telegraphs not playing the Brute telegraphs plenty, but it is what it is. And I'm keeping back the Rogue because I need to force them to want to equip that Maul. Although they have the Into the Royal as well. Still, got to make them use their... Like, we stay back to make them use the tools against the blocker. So now, yeah, like, again, telegraphed, but now they can, now the trouble is now they don't even have to equip the Maul. So that's a real rough. And we're going to have to use Subtle Strike for only half value because we're going to put a counter on a creature that doesn't do anything with it. Why do people bring up Feed? What are we hoping? Oh, for the Nahiri's Binding? I mean, it would kill us though, right? Maybe if the Gloomhunter survives. But now Gloomhunter is probably just going to chump the Diviner here, but I don't know what else we got. What was I supposed to do? Not kick it? Oh, I forgot the Maul's first strike, but so yeah, but I guess I shouldn't have kicked it, and I should have played some other creatures that don't matter. It's dead either way, Scott. You want me to block the other way and die to the first strike? That's cool. Nah, you're not dumb. Magic is hard, that's all. Yeah, now we can take a look at it again now that we've seen more of the deck. We see the Maul. So probably the 1/4 is decent here. And maybe over even the Ground Skulker. No 1/4 on the play, you don't like that? Yeah, that's fair. You could make the case that we're just trying to aggro it, but do you want the, what do you want for that then? Yeah, Zendikar does provide some reach that's more useful to the deck, so that's a consideration. But yeah, maybe we could cut the Skulker for a Zendikar. You want the Mind Drain in? We have the second Subtle Strike in. The Dancer. What Dancer are we talking about? Oh, Sky Dancer. Yeah. We're trying to decide what to cut right now, Timber. So I brought back in the Mage. I'm just going to cut the Skulker. You want to cut the second strike? Yeah, we could cut a second strike and keep the 2-drop. Let's do this. This basically sets us back to our game 1 configuration. That's fair, deck. Sure. Yeah, I love Magic. Magic's great. I play it every day because I love it so much. So much! Definitely a Swamp and maybe a Thwart. Although I'm kind of in the mind of like, we ditch a Swamp, we need to find another land on our own, and then use Thwart as recovery. I hear you, Radian, but also feel like if we keep 3 lands and then draw lands, we're just dead. No, that 6 did... That 6? You have to go back and look at that 6. That was not a keepable 6. Old fat guy likes the Thwart. Anybody want to be greedy with me? I'm gonna be greedy. Fenor liked the keep too, huh? Well, I didn't think it was a particularly keepable hand. No, Mold of 5 is not just dead in a world where we get to craft our 5 from 7. That is not true. I think one of the great benefits of the London Mulligan is that you can mold a 5 and win way more often than you could have ever done before. Hey, Grakmaw. You got us off clerics. Do something for me, will you? I didn't get to call it out in time, but I was like, Subtle Strike! One time Subtle Strike! And we got there. That is pretty good. Pretty good. No, I like letting him block. They could have done some blocks there that would, well, I guess we could. There was a chance they went for a Cliff Claven on Grakmaw block. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for. That's why I didn't do it pre-combat. And now the question is, should I do it now? And I think, yeah, we'll add a counter to the Pack Beast and kill the Sellsword. What else are we doing? Oh, do we want this? No, we want... Whenever another creature you control dries, if it... Yeah, let's put it on the Pack Beast to spread out where our counters are. Just making sure that that's what the card wanted me to do. I decided to read my rare... Sometimes you read your rares to remind yourself of what they do so that you can make the correct play. Sometimes. It's an option. I just want to show it as an option. Could go Arbor Mage, but like we're a couple lands from actually doing the kicking, so we could play Arbor Mage as a better attacker. And then we do have a situation where we might go Pack Beast. Like if we draw a 2-drop, we'll be really happy we played Arbor Mage because then we get Pack Beast plus 2-drop, and we do have a lot of 2-drops. So I'm going to go ahead and Arbor Mage on that logic. We're far off from kicking, and it sets us up for a possible two spell turn next turn. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow the 2 spell. We could just kill this thing and know that we can get in. Might be worth killing because they can't draw the card right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the Diviner while they can't draw. I'm a little nervous about using our removal when we've mulliganed twice because we're just down on cards. So removal becomes extra precious. You want to attack first. That's true. I suppose if they block either one of these, we're okay with that, Norbert. So I'm going to go with Norbert's suggestion and True's suggestion and attack in. But I don't think they're blocking. And if they go Chilling Trap, then we can Deadly Alliance in response, and that's going to be good for us. So good call, everybody. But now let's go ahead and finish off the Diviner. Jinx likes the Pack Beast. I like killing the thing before they can draw a card with it, but maybe you're right, Jinx. Maybe I'm just being too aggro there with my removal. Although that, you know, and now they're refilling. I don't know. This is tough. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, if their next answer is a single creature, we're in decent shape here. Not that I think they're on a single spell turn here, but if they get stuck on white, they could be on a 1 spell turn, which would mean, yeah, I think you all are right. I think I used the Alliance too quickly because I had decided that first I was going to do it pre-combat, and then suddenly was deciding, well, I'll do it post-combat, and then just did it without really thinking it through properly, I think. Although that was nice. Oppo has given us some thwart fodder. But I want a little more. Maybe we go... Yeah, now we should do the kill, right? Now it makes sense to get the damage in. And next turn, we can crack in and accept some death and then thwart back a couple things. Yeah, got them down to 6, and we've got a board that they have no board, so they have a lot of work to do. Shepherd, okay, but they really need a follow up here. Are they going to get 2 creatures? Yeah, that's true. We could have swung in case of tactics, but we still have to act first, right? Unless, or we give them a chance to block. I mean, the idea was we did Chips Ahoy is that we didn't want them to give them a chance to block, and we're not going to bait them into a tactics before we have to act first, by my math. So I was a little overeager with the Deadly Alliance, but it might be working out for us okay here. And we even get a nice acquisitions expert here to force some action, although it's not going to get, it's not going to get whatever they would do to survive this turn, but we're going to do it before combat anyway. You like thwart first? That's true. But I was going to do thwart after swing all. Smite, Angel Heart, Cascade Seer. Let's see. Nothing. We don't really care about the smite. We're not even bringing back anything smiteable. So yeah, I guess Seer is the biggest problem card here. Yeah, right now it does nothing. I mean, we have smiteable targets, but right now it does nothing. They want to go for the Grakmaw for biggest damage, but they also recognize that killing it just replaces it with another 3/3. So over the course of 2 turns, they save more damage by eating one of the smaller things. But if they want to go for that, that's great. That just really was, I don't think, right. Yeah, what are the pauses? It's hard to say. Could be the rogue. I don't know if the duelist rogue would have helped him at all, but that's something we saw. Trap, yeah, trap with no wizard, but still seems like maybe they would use it. Veil, yeah, maybe that. Good play from Oppo with the old Into the Royal. Yeah, the unkicked is about that follow-up. Interesting. So they got block, block, and they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're a virtual 1 here, but that's not 0. But this is going to mess them up again, huh? Jeez. So we're going to attack all and rebirth. Good draw, good draw. How many Grakmaws do you wish? Wow, Oppo, you are doing great. What a game. I cannot believe we've Grakmawed as much as we have, and we are still not through this game. Well played, Oppo. Good game here. This is the card I wanted to be my favorite card of the set, but I've basically never cast it. Oh, and by the way, I should be giving... Because I never cast it, I always forget that we have this. We should get him to... We get him to 1 again? And now we're actually in trouble. Well done, Oppo. Look at this. We might lose this now. How do we lose this game? And do we have an attack? We attack everything and they are going to go down to 1. And what are their blocks? They have to eat. They have to trade for Grakmoss. We'd get another 3/3. They'd have to eat this one. So trade, eat, and then we get in for 3. But then we get another one back, and they're down a creature, and they lose their practitioner. I think against that grip. Yeah, Blood Priest gives us a win, but I think we have to attack all just because of the 5 card to none advantage. Hunter wants to hold because of the 5 cards. I feel like that's what makes it so we have to. I'm gonna do it, and then because it does get him to 1, and then if we do draw our priest, it's still a win. And it gives us, we have our other Arbor Mage in, so Arbor Mage is an out to a win. I like getting him low here. Now, if these are nothing but lands and they draw a land, we win! I'm sure that's what'll happen. Feels like that's exactly what's going to happen here. Scoop it up, Oppo. We got this. Good try, good try. All right, we have outs. Our outs remain. We got removal outs. Well, I don't know. They have 4 mana and 3 unknown cards. So feed the swarm. Is that going to be enough? It's what we wanted. I don't believe it, though. I don't believe that we're going to win this turn. But what else do we do besides feed an angel and try? Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I'm worried. I think the Into the Royal is going to get us. Another Into the Royal coming. Ooh, okay. And good. That means we have the info to not attack. I don't know why they did that like that. They could have baited us into an attack, potentially. Yeah. Royal Mage advantage looking like it might put him over the top. Frustrating, frustrating. We really came close. But you just gotta tip the cap. Oppo has played the game brilliantly. Yeah, we have outs. I'm not. We are still technically mostly.
Here is only mostly dead.
We have outs. Technically mostly. Sorry, Oppo. Oppo punted and gave us the window to win on our mold of 5. Overall, well played, though, Oppo. Seriously, Ancient Hangover really, really, really did some great plays to stay alive at all. Maybe punted there at the end to let us slip through, but I think overall that was a very well played game by Oppo. Whew! That was not an easy start, but look, I'm notching a win. I'll take it. Yikes. We top-decked our lure creature. We top-decked taunting arbor mage that allowed us to get our last point through. So, no black yet, but we're on the draw. We have probably our best card in the deck here, and any land gets us at least an arbor mage on 3 and puts us towards this kind of stuff. So I'm going to keep narrowly here. But the one of my main heuristics on keeps like this, especially on the draw, is will any land in my deck give me something reasonable to do on 3? It's not an end-all, be-all heuristic, but it's one of my main mulligan heuristics. If I were to draw any land in my deck by my 3rd turn, do I have something to do to affect the board? And the answer here was yes. Not that it's the end-all, be-all, but it's a reasonable heuristic to ask yourself when trying to make the decision. There's our swamp. A little late, but it didn't matter. So really not late at all. We weren't going to feed anything anyway. I am going to go ahead and drop an arbor mage. That's cool. Basically 3 mana and a card for 3 mana and a card there. Straightforward, even Steven split. This case, though, it does keep us off of Adventurer. That's the real, the quality of the play for Oppo, and they don't even know it, is that they kept us off Adventurer this turn. Oh, not this turn. This is 6. We wouldn't have gotten us Adventurer anyway, so it really didn't matter. Never mind. I take it back. But it will take us off Adventurer next turn. Rousing game of Magic here. Everything coming up a little bit in the wrong order this game, but Oppo not doing much either, so we'll take it. Hey, Pablo, we top-decked our friend the Arbor Mage to sneak in 1 point of damage, or to sneak in final damage. Hey, Ancient Hangover, glad you stopped by. We were talking about what an incredible match that was and how well you played. There was the we had the very end. I think we feel like maybe there was a punt from you at the very end that allowed us to sneak in that lucky game-winning top deck. But I was gushing about your play throughout the 3rd game, especially the way you held on there was incredible. Well done. I mean, it's like, how many Grakmaws does a guy have to put onto the battlefield before he wins a game of Magic here? I could use this to fight the Wind Robber, but not worth it. We're just going to save that for more valuable plays. And this is nice. Well, here's the thing. We can expert for 1, and that's a little sad, but it does allow us to then follow up Adventurer, which I think makes it worth it. We could also do the Inscription thing, but I think we wait and do that next turn. So let's go for expert into Adventurer here after we attack with our Rogue. Oh, that's right. It doesn't lower it. Never mind. So thanks for that. I was going to screw that up. So it doesn't change our count. So maybe we just do drop the Adventurer or the Colossus if we're just going to... This is the big mana spend, right? Yeah, Colossus this turn, and then Expert is better next turn. Okay, sorry, I'm locked in now. Was thinking I had 2 different party members, and I do not. So we'll just go for a pretty expensive 7/5, but it'll work. Colossus makes Adventurer cheaper, though, too. Goes both ways. Yeah, Colossus is your secret warrior. It doesn't feel like this should even be a party type, right? But it is, in fact, a warrior. All right, this is pretty good. We got a lot to do here now. Expert. You can go adventure into expert and get full expert value. Now we probably want it that way. Or not full, but close to full, right? 3 of 4. You get 3 on the adventure. Let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and send in for attacks first, and then we'll expert after, though. If we play expert, we are vulnerable to mind drain, but I bet they show us mind drain if we play the expert, so I'm going to do it. I should have attacked first. I was just I get in my head about what the play plan is, and sometimes I execute before I should. That was just a bad sequencing on my part to not attack before doing anything. Although I also get nervous, like the adventurer is discounted by the Colossus and the Blackborn. If I know they only had 1 blue or whatever, but if for some reason I lost a creature in combat, it would affect the discount on the adventurer. So that was part of what was in my head, but it didn't make it correct, but that was a factor. That was a factor in my misplay. Fenrir wants the Arbor Mage strike swap. Any other ideas? Yeah, and that's true of War Furnace. If they mind drain, we'd be pretty happy anyway. Although I'd never, getting your killer cards swept away is tough. Subtle Strike. Do they have? I guess, yeah, they're showing us the 1 toughness, right? With Wind Robber and Rogues in general, we might see some things we can get. So yeah, we'll bring in a strike and drop an Arbor Mage. I'm cool with that. Mushroom likes keeping the Arbor Mage. I like it. Arbor Mage is a top end on the play is a little bit better, so that's why I was willing to cut it there. Yeah, sorry, Oppo. Well, here we are again. We have a Malakir Rebirth. This is a pretty easy keep. A little bit heavy on land since we have to play this as land, but we might draw a swamp, in which case we'll hold the Rebirth. Yeah, we found a swamp, so we'll just use Rebirth as spell. I'm gonna go Pack Beast and try to get to a place where we're experting for their full hand. You trade for the squid. With the expert, I'm thinking I don't want to. I might save it for next turn and Rebirth. But if we find something, yeah, I don't like it yet, Fenor. With the expert getting extra cards out of their hand. Yeah, maybe they have duelists there. I don't know. And we have a different 3 we can play now. I'm gonna go with the wizard here. Although I could attack first if I'm going to, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Arbor Mage and pass. Yeah, Fenor, you may be right. If we end up taking 9 or 12 damage from Squid, we may have some regrets here. I think I actually like trading the Arbor Mage for it, because then we get Visionary, which is a replacement wizard, and we still and Arbor Mage is really a blocker when you play it for 3 anyway. So this I'm willing to do. Let's do this. And then if they want to use resources to make this not a trade, that's fine. I don't think it's marginal expert value if you get their full hand, though. Full hand is better than marginal. In fact, if we kept it, we'd get full hand here. We could go feed and acquisition, but then we miss out. They get to keep their best card. Then we go feed acquisition. Next turn we get Visionary plus Malakir Rebirth on Visionary, though. Yeah, let's do let's feed the Skitter Sneak and acquisition, but we should acquisition first. I'll do this. They get to keep their very best card. Oh shoot, we only have one black. Never mind. Can't do both. Yeah, should have visionaried now. I think. Didn't look at my own mana properly. We'll take the Tempest though and keep them their land. If that's their second best card, that's probably pretty decent for us. No, we don't even have Rebirth up. That's the problem. Oh, yeah, we do. Sorry. Never mind. You're right. We do have Rebirth. I always forget. That's the secret text on the Pack Beast, is that it's a fixer. I always forget Pack Beast fixes. Yeah, I like it. Fenor observes that we can actually have a nice nice situation here. I like this a lot. Well, if they don't kill the expert, yeah, all right, that's fine. That's fine. We're still gonna save the expert and make him discard their last card. Especially also they're kicking the royal, right? So we might get this awesome fresh card. Oh yeah, sorry, man.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Oh yeah, we only had the one. Nah, they get to keep their fresh card. So now I want to play carefully here. We can start with Visionary to draw, or we can double spell Pack Beast and the feed. Taking 4 hurts. Let's do Visionary, and then we can threaten to double block either one of these. And now we even have potentially a 3-spell turn next turn. Swarm Beast Beast. I'm going to go with a double block on the Sneak. It threatens to be a 1-for-1, and it leaves the Feed the Swarm on the smaller, the less, the less painful to kill. You like double on the 2/3? It does feel like Trixie, right? This feels weird. The thing is, if they've got something, doubling the Blackborn Rogue doesn't make it any better, right? So I don't think either of these blocks is good against a trick, so I'm going to play like they don't have one. Yeah, we could get super big here, but I kind of like Pack Beast, Feed. Then we have Chumps if they Riptide, and then we have Colossus for super cheap next turn. If the Riptide attacks, we just always have to block it. But Colossus is going to be cheap and big. Just so. But here we go. We chump here, and then it's on them to find kicker stuff now. Attacking with Pack Beast puts us dead to like an Into the Royal, but I mean, we got to try and win this, right? Maybe it's not worth the 2 there. I don't know. Blightblade's a pretty decent draw, although it does mean that now that lands or spells are decent. So yeah, we got to swing Colossus, and if they go for a block, we have options. But we'll leave the other one back. What we want is, I don't know. Well, what is this? Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less. Okay, so we lose everything. So we're going to go Subtle Strike is going to keep us alive. So let's just let them think they have it. DA, man. Nice top deck. Now it's their turn. Hold! Hold! Oh no, they topped. Hopefully it's just for a chump. Whiff, 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 whiff. Oh my god. This game. But they have to chump. And if we draw removal, we win. Yeah, they probably shouldn't be thinking about kicking the blood beckoning, right? They should just beckon right now for something. I don't even want to look at their library to give them that hint. I think they're already doing it, though. Good draw for us again. They might be thinking they just need 2 creatures to be able to have a chance, but I don't like that. Yeah, I'm with you, Fenner. I make that mistake too. It's really hard to train yourself to think of to think of Blood Beckoning as a 1-mana spell. I really think of Blood Beckoning as a 4-mana spell, and I have to get my own. I'm worse. I think the place I'm worst with that is Into the Royal. It's so hard for me to see Into the Royal as a 2-mana spell. I just default to it being a 4-mana spell, and then sometimes I'm like, oh right, I can win if I just think of this as an unsummon. All right, nice. We got 2 wins, get to play for a 3rd here. Well, I'm sure happy to get 2 wins with the deck. I wasn't sure how good it was exactly, but something new. And we got gems back and had some fun. So all successful day already. Let's see if we can get true profit, though. Hey, it's a an opener we can keep and like. I feel like we don't get these. Even Jinx isn't on play the splans here. This is a great hand to keep the splans for spells, for sure. You want a rat animation? How can I resist? Not even spending channel points, but here you go. The OG.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Yep, first ever meme. That's not bad if that's what Oppo is doing with their second turn. We're going to go with the big rare on ours, on our third. Look at all the free value today. You want another rat burglar, or do you want to pick a different one? Here, I'll give you the new rat burglar from Hat.
Some say I never heard of ya. Don't believe the hype, it's a sequel. Don't believe the hype.
Subtle Strike. No Subtle Strike for us. We could Maul if we wanted to really get some damage through. I don't think we need to, though. I think we just play our Rogue and a land and get in for 3 and call it good. Oh, do I need to? Yeah, here, I'll give you some trap backup.
You've activated my trap card! It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
Now, land off the top, basic land off the top gives us Colossus next turn if we want it. We can also expert for a couple of cards. I have not made a single meme I run, so you might call me a genius. The stuff that has been created in my house has been made by my son. So the OG Rat Burglar and this is a fan favorite that my son made. Let me get to that.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance.
So a few of the memes. Also, Meteor Golem was another one my son made. I'm showing you my son's. This is my son's greatest hits. I have so many I can't even count anymore because my viewers and mods are awesome and crazy and great. Okay. As for this situation, pretty straightforward attack with our 2 attackable creatures and then drop a Colossus. Yeah, I guess I could have just sent the Menace. There's not really a thing they could punish us with for a single black, though, right? And maybe they don't block because of the... Well, there's a threat. I mean, we have cards. Maybe they don't block. And I'm not blocking with the Grakmaw on the way back against... I'm not putting it at risk on blocks, so... Yeah, well, having blockers... I mean, I was planning to play a 7-5, so I figured that could block, maybe. Hang in there, Jinx. A lot going on here. Let me... Oh, they get our Mauling, but we get their last card at least. Best predation ever. Here we go.
I toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Was that smooth for you? It kind of glitched in my view. I don't know if that was just my lag on my side. Was that a smooth meme or did that glitch? Okay, let me try again. It probably won't do it this time.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
That was me when I was short-haired. All right, well, it's not going to get better than this, especially with them knowing about it. And does that change anything? Still not enough total power to stop the Rogue or the Ravager, so we'll send all 3 of these. Yeah, this is... I feel like... I don't know if this is a 2-0 opponent or whether we've been paired down, but I'm not super impressed with a lot of the cards we're seeing here. I think we just need to alliance the Stinger, which can get Death Touch from the Snarecaster, and then we still have the same kind of attacks. This is the problem with these landfall cards. They're powerful when you curve out aggro, but when you're not curve out aggro, they're just literal dead cards. It's the problem with the archetype. It's not that it can't win, it's that when it's not doing its thing, it's doing nothing. And Dewey sent everything now. Sorry, Oppo, for the slow play, but there's an argument for letting go the Pack Beast or the Expert to get all this damage through, but it might not be worth it yet. I think we're definitely doing this. And I guess I would trade at this point, with them at no cards, I would trade Pack Beast or Expert for any damage. Mike likes waiting, Jinx likes going in. They can only get one of these, though. Like, if they kill the Pack Beast, they don't even get the Expert. I'm gonna do it. They can have the Pack Beast for the damage. right, we're going to go ahead and play this pre, since we have things we might draw. Like a thwart. Can't cast that, but nice to have. And swing away again with everything. They can't block the expert or they lose. I guess they could block Colossus and expert and not lose, but they won't block the expert, I should say. That was a scoop attack, it looks like. Mirror. Yeah. Everybody expects the green-black mirror in the 2-0 bracket of Zendikar, right? I like our deck better. What can we change to make it even better, better? Don't need flying defense. Could play a second Colossus. We have a couple of these. They've been pretty good. Yeah, I agree with you, Fenner. I think it's probably not 2-0. But I think we like Colossus, right? Over maybe even one of these medium-low rogues. Blightblade is okay, though. Kind of just like cutting the Blightblade and going big. I'm going to try it this way, Jinx, but maybe the benefit of the Blightblade is that it does provide this kind of party-style curve-out. They showed main deck Snarecaster. I'm not putting 2-1 flyers in a deck against main deck Snarecasters. Unless we think they're going to, like, side them out. But even then, too risky. Let's send this in. That's disturbing to hear, D. This is... I was worried. There's 2 days I'm worried about in American politics. Today and the 20th. Today and the 20th are the days that we could experience violence in America as some deluded people convince themselves that something's been taken from them. We're going to keep this. I was just rioting. Yeah, I gotta watch my news sources. When Dionysus is my news source, I need to take it with a grain and understand the context. But regardless of what the news is, I've been long worried about the 6th and the 20th. Fourth land is great. I don't think there's any... I'm trying to think of any green instance. I don't think we have clean attacks here. And then Arbor Mage. The significance of the 6th of January is that today is the day that Congress basically ceremoniously certifies the Electoral College results. Today is the day that everybody in Congress says, "Yep, Biden won." And so now that the Congress has all said, "Yep, Biden won," this is one of the triggers that could incite violence, because this is the moment that, up until now, a lot of people who would have been violent have held out hope that this moment wouldn't happen. And of course, the 20th is Biden's inauguration. So the congressional certification of the outcome and the actual inaugurating of Biden are the two events that I've been really worried about. Let's see. We've got Natural Colossus play. I think with Rebirth, though, we're just going to play our... We can even attack... yeah, we don't want to Rebirth the Pack Beast. I think we attack with Arbor Mage and Visionary with the Rebirth ready. And then potentially Colossus. You just want to send the 3-2 and make for sure we get... Although we send the 2-3 and we're definitely going to get there. If they want to trade Arbor Mage for Constrictor, I'm fine with that. Why are we, like, right? Like, just send both of these. What are they going to do? Kill the Arbor Mage? Great. What are they going to do? Double block the Visionary? Great. They can't kill both of these wizards, so we're fine. And yeah, rebirthing the Visionary would be fine as well. I'm going to send first and then decide what to do after. If they double block the Arbor Mage, there's an argument for Hagra Mauling the Nectar Pot for the 2-for-1. I mean, we just have choices with this attack, so... The drawback is we may not get to cast a Colossus this turn, but this is fine. Looks like we will. Why would we tell Rutherford B. Hayes that we would love to rebirth the Visionary? Was Rutherford B. Hayes a notable Magic player in his day? Cool. You learn something new every day. The more you know. It's not anarchy unless there is no rules enforcement, D. Are there no authorities doing anything about it? If no authorities are doing anything about it, then you're correct that it's anarchy. If authorities are doing something about it, it's a mob that hopefully will be controlled. All right. Back to our task at hand. Probably just want to maul the big boy and then have rebirth for everything else. Yeah, double block would be interesting too, but I think we kind of get that. We get what we need here out of the rebirth. I like this line. I think they're in trouble. Yeah, you're right, Jinx. They're not exactly screaming. I think I might have made punts before too, because they're not very different. Worth noting. Oh, no, math. They're not going to shut up about it. They're going to use this as false equivalency. That's the next step. See, all of what we're doing is justified because of evil Antifa and BLM. Which part? Rutherford B. Hayes as championship Magic player, or our nation's capital under attack by deluded losers? Rebirth, swing away here. Look, Rutherford B. Hayes could sling some cardboard. Know your history. Probably just let the Pack Beast go here, drop our own second Pack Beast, and move on. I mean, we could thwart, but it doesn't do much for us yet. I think we just get there slamming away with the Colossus with the Rebirth backup. That's an unkicked, so maybe, yeah, just nothing to kick for anyway, but just wondering if they have mana open for anything else. Called for and received the subtle strike. So now we're just good. Hunger is just announcing that we win. Ta-da! Well, we passed a pretty monstrous cleric deck and then 3-0'd with the 3-0'd with the old 3-0'd with the old Golgari. Got some profit. Speaking of Golgari, I did want to let's claim this prize here. But I was talking GRN yesterday. We played Guilds of Ravnica yesterday, and Jinx was heavily on board that Golgari is where you want to be. I was heavily on board with conventional wisdom is that the most powerful archetypes in the format are red, blue, red, blue, red, white, and blue, black, and I want to call out that that Jinx and I can both be right because chat is self-correcting. I do think that if you took if you handcrafted a deck and said, if I said, hey, we're going to play Guilds of Ravnica draft, but we're going to play Guilds of Ravnica draft, but you get, here's how, it's not a draft. It's going to be Guilds of Ravnica constructed, and you get to pick any guild you want, one of the 5 guilds from the set, and you get access to one of every common and uncommon in the set. Now, build your decks. Which deck would you want to play? I don't think I would choose Golgari in that situation. I would be choosing Boros or Dimir or Izzet. Now, Jinx may be picking Golgari in that spot because that's what he thinks. That's fine. I'm just saying what I really want to drive home and why I've brought it back up again is to be very clear about the self-correcting nature of draft, because we are not assembling a collection of the most powerful cards at the rarity in those colors. We are drafting cards with other players. So it is often the case that even though conventional wisdom says the best decks in the format are A, B, and C, if everybody else knows that, suddenly those decks that aren't A, B, and C become a lot more appealing because nobody's taking those cards. So you can absolutely win a ton with Golgari right now in GRN because the world knows that green is not where you want to be, and because the draft is self-correcting, so suddenly it is where you want to be, right? It can be complicated is my point. And when I talk about the abstract conventional wisdom best decks in a format, I don't mean that you must play those colors or you lose. I mean that you need to know what the conventional wisdom best is so that you can adjust properly in the draft and take that third tier deck when the nature of the draft of the table is going to make that the best option for you and your win percentage. So I just wanted to clarify that I lean away from green in GRN, but it doesn't mean that you can't play it and can't win with it. You can especially win with it because of the self-correcting nature of draft. So a little bit of a weird, I know we were just playing Zendikar, but it's been on my mind since we played yesterday. So I wanted to at least call that out before saying farewell to our YouTube friends, because I'm sure a lot of our YouTube friends saw that video from yesterday and know what I'm talking about here. So anyway, draft is self-correcting. Conventional wisdom is useful, but often just helps you understand what signals to look for in a draft to understand when to bank away from the most popular decks and into the most open of decks. All right. Bye, YouTube.